Hello and welcome. This is the Senior Estate Concierge Show. And today I'm going to be interviewing Wayne Arrington. And so let's say hello. Hi, Wayne.
Hello. Hello. How is everybody?
It's a beautiful day here. I've got sunshine in my area. How about you?
Oh yeah, it's going to be another hot one today. I think approaching 100 there. So, yeah, stay cool.
Hydrated and cool.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes. Today we're going to be talking about safety for seniors, and Wayne and I are going to be discussing a lot of different information. So let's get right into it, shall we, Wayne?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our community, the senior estate concierge groups, and the community that we're building. Tell me what your experiences are.
So I've been involved with the Senior Concierge Group now for, well, probably started right about the COVID time. I think we had a couple of live meetings and then COVID hit and so everything went virtual at that point. But what I really enjoy about it is it's a place where I can go and find help for seniors. So we're a home care business, but we work very, very closely with home health, with hospice, with people that provide equipment, all of those sorts of things, reverse mortgages. So it makes it really, really nice to know that you're working with a group of people that have been vetted, that care for seniors, and that's their utmost focus is to help them. So it's a group where I can go to, and it's like, okay, I need a home healthcare company to reach out to, and it's very easy to do that. The group is definitely growing. They started out in the central area. We're more in the northwest part, which is a newer group that has just been forming, but really enjoy the group and being able to interact with people that can help seniors.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. And I do want to do a shout out for our founder. This is a brainchild, Bill Graff. He's a real estate specialist. He's certified to help seniors, which is really great. And it was the perfect opportunity to grow this community. So this community is growing, and it's getting wider and wider and wider. As Wayne just said, we're growing the Northwest, we're growing the Southwest, the central part. We've expanded out, and now we're looking at expanding out the other way, Southeast,
Hmm.
Northeast.
Hmm.
So,
Right.
there are people over there that need our services. So we're
Lots of
growing.
opportunities.
There's many, many opportunities to help seniors. And we
Right.
really want you to hear that we are focused on building resources for not just the seniors, but their families as well. So today
Absolutely.
we're going to be talking about safety for seniors. And I know in your industry, Wayne, you have to have safety for people when you're doing things for them in the home. It's not like a controlled hospital or assisted living. It's more of how do we make them safe in their home? What can you
Right.
tell us about your business and how you help seniors?
Well, and that's probably one of the most important things that we do as a home care company is we look at the safety aspect of it because that's what seniors are looking for. They're looking to stay in their own homes as long as possible and stay independent. Well, safety is a key part of that. And we're looking at anything from, how is the access going into the home? Is it well lit? Um, do they need wheelchair ramps? Do they need grab bars? And grab bars go throughout the entire house, not only entering the house, but in hallways or in bathrooms. So it's very, very important. One of the major reasons seniors end up in the hospital is because of a fall. And so that's what we're there to help prevent, is to help prevent them from falling. And we look at many, many different things. I've recently been introduced to a new group that is basically taking me to a whole new level when we start talking about senior safety.
I love that because it's true. I take care of a lady with Alzheimer's, and so now we've got it's been a process, right? And so it was um, Alzheimer's affects the brain differently for different
Hmm.
people. So her
Hmm.
eyesight started going, so she would trip and fall when she was walking. Now she's in a wheelchair, and now we have to keep her from falling out of the wheelchair. So we have to
Right.
have safety things that are keeping her in the chair. We have to have safety when we're moving her from one place to the next. She's no longer able to move um, by herself. So now we're using a Hoyer lift
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
safely move her from the wheelchair into the bed or wherever she's going to the shower, that type of thing. So there's
Right.
so many different aspects of safety. Um,
Absolutely.
Falling, like you said.
Well,
My
and speaking of,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
go,
speaking of
please.
Alzheimer's, so one of the key things we need to look at, when we start talking about Alzheimer's, is locking away medications, locking away cleaning supplies.
Oh, yes.
People don't think about this, but all of the things that are underneath the cabinet in the kitchen, they're poisonous. And it's very easy for a senior with Alzheimer's to get confused with some of the cleaning fluids. They look like grape juice. Well, if they drink that, we're going to have a serious issue. So that's something we need to look at as well when we're in the home, is make sure those supplies are either locked up or removed from the home.
Yes. I recently had an experience with a friend who is taking care of an elderly woman. She has all of her faculties, but her body's not cooperating anymore. And she fell in the middle of the night
Mm,
and broke her. Well, we didn't know it at the time, but she had broken her pelvic bone in
hmm.
three
Hmm.
different places. So she had to be
Wow.
transported by ambulance to the hospital and then have an operation to fix it. And then she had to go to a place where you do rehab. And then she had to be brought home and have a company like yours who can help
Hmm.
her at home. So
Right.
it all kind of works together. Everybody has to work together as a team to make sure that the seniors are safe. So tell
Absolutely.
us a little bit more about this new, I guess it's a 501(c), a
Correct.
nonprofit. Tell us a little bit about it.
So I've recently gotten involved with an organization called the Right Care Foundation, and they've spent $85 million in 20 years trying to figure out where we've gone wrong from a medical perspective and where we've gone wrong from a spiritual perspective to help seniors. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't matter how much money we seem to throw at the issue, the problem doesn't seem to get any better. And when I say the problem, I'm referring to seniors falling. So I mentioned earlier, that's the number one reason that seniors end up in the hospital is they've
Yes.
fallen. And the chances from a major fall of them maintaining their independence, I mean, it is seriously diminished by this. So the spiritual side of it is getting the churches involved. So they've actually created a company called the Right Care Senior Ministry. And the whole focus is to get the senior ministry involved to help these seniors before becomes too late. What they've done is, part of the problem has been you throw money at it, it doesn't really solve the problem. And my screen just went blank. Are we still live?
We are. I'm actually
Okay.
showing the website for First Light
Okay.
Home Care.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. So what they've done is they've created a matrix, a way to measure where a senior is. So when we go in and do an assessment through the Right Care Ministry, is we're looking at anything from the standpoint of the medication management, we're looking at safety issues, we're looking at independence, we're looking at quality of life, burden of care, and aging in place. And we're educating not only the seniors, but the family members on how we can drive those numbers down. So everything has a number. And the idea is to keep those numbers below 40. Anything above 40, it puts that senior at risk of falling. So that may be something as simple as going in and observing they've got loose rugs on the floor, they're missing they're missing wheelchair ramps or handrails, things that are going to help keep them safe and independent. But the whole focus, again, it goes back to the church and making people accountable. So it's set up, and this is a brand new organization. Actually, they haven't even launched. It's due to launch here in the next 30 days. But there's been some, what I'm going to call pilot programs within the Tomball area. I'm actually involved with my church, my wife and I. And what we go in and do an evaluation on 5 seniors and say, okay, here's where you rate. So how do we correct the problem? Well, we need to bring in home health, and home health needs to do A, B, C, and D. We need to go back to the doctor, and the doctor needs to evaluate all of the different medications that this particular individual is on. We need to do some home modifications to help prevent the falling risk. All of that is tied together. We put a report together, and then a volunteer within the church becomes responsible or the driving force to make sure these things happen. And again, the whole goal is to drive the numbers down. So it's a really, really interesting program. We're really excited about kicking it off in our church and kicking it off nationwide.
Oh, nationwide. Okay.
Absolutely. They've actually been doing some work in Arizona with it for quite some time. Through the fire department out there. But this is really the first part of it as far as going to the churches locally. It's starting out right here in Houston.
That is wonderful. How did this come about? Somebody was noticing that the seniors weren't getting what they needed, right? And so.
Exactly. And through this research over the last 20 years and $85 million, it's like, okay, we need to be able to have a system in place where we can measure our results. And that's really the key, is measuring results. The people that are going to be involved in the program, from a home health, from a home care, from independent living facilities, they all have to be certified to be part of the program so that they really understand how this works and what their job is to drive those numbers down.
Very interesting. So what is your part going to be? Are you going to be on the board directing, or how do you see your role?
Well, it's kind of interesting. So I have a home care company, but it's not really my focus as part of this group. So I also have a handyman service, and the organization is looking for somebody to do the home modification side. So I kind of stepped aside from the home care standpoint, and I said, okay, well, let's get certified from the home modification standpoint where I can really make an impact for seniors, because there were several other home care agencies in the area that were going to be involved in the program. So I said, let them do that. I'll do the handyman side of the business. So that's kind of where I'm at, is doing the home modifications right now.
Okay. All right. Well, what is it that you can think of that would be the number one reason that people would fall in their home?
Wow. Number one?
Yeah, the number one problem that we could really fix. Is it the rugs? Is it the bathtub? Is it, what is the number one problem that we have with seniors falling in their home?
I think it really depends on the situation and the senior. The bathtub is certainly an issue, and it's an issue because it's a very, very slippery surface going in and out of the bathtub. And it's very, very important to have the proper transfer chairs in the tub, make sure the handrails are properly positioned, Make sure that you have non-skid tape in the tub and on the floor outside of the tub. It's definitely an area of concern, but you also have other areas too, which are outside the home, such as the walkways going into the home. Are they even? Are they level? Are there handrails? Are there steps involved? There's a lot of different areas you can look at. Small rugs with no rubber backing. I see this constantly when I go into seniors' home. They're not tacked down. They're a small rug. They're on a slippery floor. And that's the first place someone can fall.
Oh, yes. How big of a problem are shoes?
Shoes? That's an interesting question. I don't know that we've looked that closely at it, but it certainly can be an issue. I mean, if their shoes aren't tied, which I see quite frequently, I go into a home and I say, "You mind if I tie your shoes?" It's one of the first things I do. It definitely has a bearing on it. You see a lot of seniors with sock feet. I mean, that's a huge problem.
Yes.
Unless they have the little rubber grips on the bottom and that sort of stuff, especially when they go to bed at night. And one of the things that we look at is putting the non-skid tape right there where they get in and out of bed, because we know they're going to bed with their socks on. And if they get up in the middle of the night, boom, their feet get out from underneath them.
No, I totally get that. The reason why I said shoes was I had a new pair of shoes on yesterday, and I kind of went to almost rolled onto my ankle. And I could have, if I didn't have something to grab a hold of, I probably would have gone down. And it was kind of scary. And I thought, oh, you need really good fitting shoes here, Marian.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't be doing this now. That brings up another thought is, one day I was getting out of the shower and I grabbed the shower, the towel holder, and down it went. So I was able to grab a hold of the wall. Grab bars. That's another one, right?
Yeah. And they make grab bars out there that can also double as towel racks. So you've got the grab bar itself that's solidly mounted to the wall. And then right below it is a little area to put your towel and stuff on. They make toilet holders that can be used as grab bars as well. Pivot poles are something that's very easily managed. When I say a pivot pole, it's a pole that basically telescopes to the ceiling and kind of locks in, and you can move it wherever you want to within the home to help you get out of a chair, get out of bed, get off the toilet. You want to look at raising, you may need to raise your bed, or raise your chair to make it easier for seniors to get in and out of bed or in and out of their chairs.
Yeah, I can see that if you were going into someone's home and looking at all the safety issues, you would want to start outside with ramps and rocks that are in the way, that type of thing, slippery. I was going into someone's home to visit somebody in an assisted living home, and the front porch is it's a tile and it was wet. And I'm telling you, that was slippery. And I thought, okay, that's where you need to start. You need to really look at the home as you're going in, deciding, okay, from the time you get out of the car to the time you get up to the front door, what could possibly go wrong?
Right. And there's solutions to that. There's some etching material that you can put on, slick ceramics and that kind of stuff to kind of rough it up and make it where it's not as slippery. You can use the non-skid tape, and then they have the big wide tapes that you can, put down on the front porches and stuff to help with that sort of thing.
Fascinating. So then you look at safety as far as keeping people out that shouldn't come in, right? So you have your locks, your door handles, is everything safe? Literally, you could have a checklist that could go down from the time you get out of your car until the time, you're leaving, of all the different things that you have to look at. It's fascinating.
Right. Yeah, I just completed a safety certification course through Aging America, and the checklist is 240 different areas that we look at. So yeah, absolutely. And something as simple, we talk about wheelchair ramps. You need to be careful with wheelchair ramps from the standpoint of people passing by. If you have the option of putting the wheelchair ramp at the front door or the back door, and it's safe for that senior to get to the back door, then put it at the back door. Because if you put it at the front door, you're putting up a big sign in front of your house. This person is disabled. So again, that falls back to the safety aspect as well.
Wow. Now, I wouldn't
Yeah.
hadn't even, considered that. That is amazing. Yeah, you don't want to announce that you have seniors or handicapped people in your home
Exactly.
to the
Yeah.
burglars. Oh my goodness. Okay. Put it in the back of the home. All right. That's good. All right. So,
But you've got to make sure it's safe for them to get to the back of the house.
right,
That's the key there.
right. So you have to, in your mind, be thinking about cost and how much it's going to
Mhm.
cost to modify, and
Mhm.
what's the chances of something going wrong
Mhm.
as far as your driveway and the ramp. Okay. So once you get inside the house, then you're looking at the walkways from the bedroom to the bathroom to the kitchen. You're looking
Absolutely.
at, how far do they have to go? What's their mobility? And then you have
We're
to be thinking about the future, right? If they're
Mhm.
90 and you're looking at keeping them in the home, keeping
Right.
us in the home, you
Keeping
have to.
myself in the home.
That's what I was thinking. I think, yeah,
Right.
this is where I want to stay. I don't really want to go anywhere.
Mhm.
What do I have to do to modify my house as I age? It's
Mhm.
it's so much to think about. So you have a checklist that you go
Mhm.
through
Mhm.
for each house, depending on the amount of people that are living there. Now, do you work with individuals and communities like uh, assisted living homes, the private homes?
Mhm. So that's something that we're certainly going to be looking at through the senior ministry program, because that's all part of the program. So we'll be working very closely with um, senior living facilities, independent living, assisted living, that sort of thing. It's been amazing. It's really been an eye opener going through this program
I
of
bet.
how much stuff that I've been missing. I mean, we've been in the home care business for 8 years, and when I started looking at this program that's put together by the Right Care Foundation, I'm like, wow, wow, we're missing the boat here. And and it's not only us, it's everybody else out there as well. So it's been a great educational tool for us to use and say, this is really the things we need to be looking at. This is really the things we need to be doing if we're truly going to help seniors and keep them independent.
Yes. Oh, yes. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. I'm fairly new to the senior estate concierge, but I've been in the senior industry for many, many years. My heart is this is home for me, and
Mhm.
I have worked for visiting nurses. I have volunteered for hospice, and in my church, I have visited people in the hospital and things like that. So over the years, I have seen things that could be improved. So
Mhm.
I wasn't really I didn't really have the mindset like I could help somebody improve it. I would always have to just call somebody like you, a handyman or somebody who could come in and make those changes. I just dealt with what I could do, what I could see. This is looking beyond what one person can do and seeing
Absolutely.
all the different possibilities.
Right.
So Wayne,
Well,
can you tell us a little bit about the cost to the people that are going to be using this program?
you're talking about the senior care ministry. It's hard to put a cost on it because everybody's different. So the key to the program is to having someone in the church holding everybody accountable. So, it doesn't really change the cost of home care. It doesn't change the cost of home health. It doesn't change the cost of the doctor's visits. What it does is it makes those people accountable for what they're doing.
Oh, okay. I get it now. See,
Yeah.
it took me a minute to understand how this process is going to work. Okay.
Right. So
So,
the key is the church. The key is for the
yes.
church to say, okay, we've got an individual in here, and they're calling the family member and saying, family member, did you contact the modification company to get the handrails put in? Did you talk to your doctor's office about setting up an appointment for mom to get her medications checked? Have you called the home health company to arrange for them to come in? So that's the key. It's the church and the volunteers holding people accountable.
I see. I do. I see. So, as a provider of these services, you connect with the church that
Correct.
has this in their area. So each area, like in Houston is so large that you couldn't cover all of Houston, right? So you
Exactly.
would go to the local church that's going to take care of that area, and you would apply to get certifications.
Well, as far as the provider is concerned, they would have to go through the Right Care Foundation for certification.
Gotcha.
And then once the church introduces the program to the congregation, then the volunteer at the church is coordinating all this. They know the providers that they can count on. So they would reach out to those providers or have the family member reach out to those providers that have been certified for the program.
Okay. Thank you very much. Wayne, thank you for being here with us today. We really appreciated all your information and getting to know you. It's a delight. It really is to think about someone like you reaching out into your community and making it a better place.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for having me today, and look forward to working with Senior Concierge.
Excellent. Well, this has been a wonderful opportunity for us to talk to you about what the Senior Estate Concierge can do for you. So if you are a service provider focused on seniors, I want you to contact us. And if you are a senior or you have a family member that has a senior and you need help, I want you to contact us. So here's the numbers down below. 713-401-9750 is the phone number, or you can email info@seniorestateconcierge.com and get any questions answered right away. We look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.